Really, LeBron? Really? Really? All that biting you be doing to Kobe, I'm coming for you today, dog. You just wait for that. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We'll cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we'll give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. So today we're going to be talking about this damn LeBron James, man. But before we even get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. LeBron James is something else. LeBron James is something else. Too Raw for TV used an expression that I had never heard before. And I think it's apt that we use it here right now. He said, referring to something LeBron did in the past, which was, it almost seems like LeBron is trying to out Kobe. Now, what was he referring to? He was referring to some of the moves that LeBron made. Changing the numbers and doing all of that. Some of the ways, some of the things that he says and how he talks, mimicking some of the things that Kobe does. I'm taking my talent to South Beach. Bit that off of Kobe as well. And I'm like, just when you thought that this dude couldn't try to cosplay as Kobe Bryant, he does it again. So what happened? Recently, Complex Sports went to Shanghai to go interview LeBron James during his China tour run or whatever it is. And during the interview, towards the end, they asked LeBron, what are your goals for the future? What are your hopes and dreams that you would like to achieve post-basketball? And would you believe that this dude literally stole Kobe Bryant's retirement idea word for word and is up there acting like as if this is some novel idea that he came up with? For those of y'all who didn't hear what LeBron had to say, want to play his comments for you now, and then want to come back and continue on the show.
No, I want to continue to build I want to build the greatest storytelling company there is, and we've been putting that work in uninterrupted. We've been doing it, and you know we do all type of shows and we do podcasts now. We do movies and TV show, everything, cartoons, everything. But I want to build like
the Pixar.
Man. Like when people start like wanting to come up with ideas, they think of us. They want to pitch it to us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like. And that comes from like that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air moment, like, you know, that Will Smith and, you know, that Biggie, Nas, that storytelling, like, you know, that's that inspiration right there. And I want to build that for not only for athletes, but like shit, like when you decide to do a show, you know, you think of Uninterrupted, man. You think of
PR holler at me every.
Yeah, see, all right, see, that's what I'm saying. So like we want to build that. So whoever, whatever. People they want to create something. They think of us. And, you know, I feel like Disney and all those they've done enough. They got enough.
Yeah.
So you heard what LeBron James had to say. Now I know some of his honey slinging, twerking ass fans who be up there shaking and hollering under tables. Well, like, man, LeBron is just so innovative, man. How does he do it? How does he do it? I mean, how does LeBron James do it? I don't even know what he does, but how does he do it? They would think that, oh man, this guy's he's really breaking ground here. Not knowing that this dude is literally stealing all of Kobe's ideas and trying to recreate them and make it look like he's the first one that came up with it. So what we want to do, we want to play a compilation of sound of Kobe being asked about what his main goal was after retirement and why he decided to get into storytelling and his strategic outlook on storytelling and how he planned to propagate the market with the content that he was creating. Take a listen to Kobe Bryant here.
When the nominations came out, we were nominated. It was like, oh, that's pretty crazy. It's pretty insane. And then to actually win it, I remember winning and just looking at my wife and going, what the You know, it's just like, what? Okay, all right, this happened. All right. And I remember after we won it, we got in the car, and, you know, it was like a late night, right? So we out hanging out and stuff, and it's like 4 a.m, and, you know, we're in the car going back, and I look at my wife and I go, now we gotta follow this
So we're going to talk about Granity Studios and what projects you have coming, but you're right, you've set a pretty high bar.
Just a little bit. Man, I don't know what the hell. You do what with Glenn Keane and John Williams. It's all downhill after that. It's like, but no, it's been a fantastic experience. It's been wonderful. But even more important than that, I got a lot of funny looks my last year when people said, okay, what are you going to do when you retire? And I said, well, I'm going to be a storyteller. Okay, that's cute. What is that? I said, well, I tell stories. Okay, all right, but so when you retire, you're going to go through different stages. You're going to be depressed the first week, the second week, and they would tell me this all the time. And so I felt like the nomination was validation that this thing is real, and I can do this. I do have talent other than dribbling and shooting the basketball. I can actually write. Yeah, and so I think that was the most important thing.
What were your kind of initial expectations of what the next step would be, and how have you kind of seen that play out with everything you've done?
I just wanted to tell stories. I had Dear Basketball that I knew was going to be coming out soon, and when I retired, we immediately moved into the execution of the short film. So, the animation, actually animating the film, and then working with John on the music and schedules and things like that. And then from that, I was developing these novels. So a lot of them were still in the outlining stage. And so trying to figure those out and make them books. And at the time, I hadn't hired a head of publishing. I hadn't done these things. So I still had to do a lot of research and figuring out who were going to be the people that were going to take this crazy journey with me. So it was a lot of work to be done still.
So where would you rank these trophies that you have behind you?
Well, they're at the top for me. It's not something that was expected. As a kid, you kind of have the goal of winning championships and doing these sorts of things, right? And being in the industry that I'm in now, it wasn't something that was thought of. Like winning an Oscar wasn't something that was like, oh, I want to win an Oscar one day, And it certainly wasn't something that people expected of me. You expect kind of you're a basketball player, you're an athlete, that's it, that's all. I don't know what you're going to do when you retire. You're going to be you're going to go through a state of depression, and you're going to have an identity crisis because, these are all things that were said to me because people were like genuinely concerned. And so to be able to transition and be able to do these sorts of things it's at the top of the list.
Why content creation for you?
I fell into writing at a very early age. I had a great teacher in high school, Little Marion, Jane Mastriano, who taught speaking arts and how to write structure and all these other things. And I just fell in love with it. And so when I first came into the league, I started writing my own commercials and started working on storytelling. And so then when I retired, I knew exactly what my passion was going to be. And so I fell right into that. And I think as athletes and as people, all we can do is just follow what we enjoy doing the most and see where that leads.
How long before you retired, how soon was it that you knew that this was something that you wanted to do? I imagine it didn't just take place once you retired because you are a planner.
Well, I kind of enjoyed the process of storytelling, but then when it came to doing the Muse film, the documentary film, that's when I really fell in love with it. Because then I started falling in love with the process of actually writing out the chapters and then, kind of structuring things visually and so forth. And then to see the reaction that we received from people from the film of saying how much it impacted them, and that just really centered my focus.
I'm thinking about today's game, and I want to know how watching today's game, even though you are a participant, you're also an observer to some degree. You kind of know what's going on. You always have. And now that you stepped away from the game because you retired, you're watching from afar. Clearly, you're trying to impact a future generation on the come up. But how much does watching today's game and how it has evolved, how much did that influence the work that you're doing now?
Some, but what I try to do is write content that a child can understand and digest, but also have the messaging be at such a level that professional athletes can understand and learn something from, because these are experiences and things that I've gone through and learned from. So, at the end of the basketball breakdown, when I say, reading the game will make you a good player, understanding what you're reading will make you a great player, but if you can write the game that others read, you become a champion. right? And that's a different level of understanding where you're not reacting to situations, but you're the one creating the situations that others react to, right? That is the whole key.
Fantastic. So you heard what Kobe had to say there. I mean, why are you doing this? The dude is literally stealing all of them. Even the thing of Mind the Game. His fans were like, we've never seen anything like this before. We haven't seen a show where it's just dedicated to basketball and the X's and O's, where we educate audiences, forgetting that Kobe was already doing something else called Detail. That was far more interesting and had absolutely zero agendas. Unlike Mind the Game, or like Ticket likes to call it, Game to Mind, where it started off as giving you all of the basketball jargon and what this means and what that means and what those things over there mean and what this means. And it quickly evolved into what it was meant to be, another platform to promote LeBron James and rewrite history. To the point where now we're having current NBA players like Kevin Durant go on there talking about, some people like to play for 22 years straight, while other people, they just get tired and they quit. They just get tired and they quit. Yeah, that's some real storytelling. You dudes is up here telling fairy tales. Katie didn't even know the backstory. They just coming up here with manga series, making stuff up as they go along. Just making it up. And I'm sitting there, he's like, we want to be at the fore when it comes to storytelling. And I'm like, what? What? Kobe won a damn Oscar telling stories. And then here come LeBron. Here he come. Ready to steal all this guy's ideas and act like as if it was his. And then whenever he puts out a project, all of his fans be up there. Oh, man, did you hear what they said over there? Did you hear what they said over there? It's just unreal. Literally unreal. Unreal. This guy's shameless. He can't even say, man, I was really inspired by what Kobe did. And I was like, man, this is something that I would, no. Storytelling, because this is what we wanted to always do. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm going to leave it to you guys in the comments. We're going to catch you on the next show, and I'm out. Peace.